Right, so here we have my inventory for my game Quinlan, and basically here I'm just gonna like go over what I'm doing so far. Alright, so in Quinlan, obviously a big aspect of the game is going to be that you have resources that you need to obtain, manage, trade, sell, whatever, in order to survive in the game or fulfill certain processes that you have to do. So maybe you need to make food, maybe you need to make a little bit of cash so you can buy certain services in the game, or you need to get other supplies. So you use other supplies to get other supplies. Because in Quinlan you will have abilities to barter, sell to stores. And in this case you can actually manage your inventory through the pause menu. And this is what this is kind of showcasing. In some cases, the items that are in your inventory will be consumable. So in this case, we have bones. You can eat the bones. And in a certain situation, you might find that you don't have any food, but your character is starving. So you need to eat something, and this can be a way to do that. Besides that, though, you can also discard the items and place them on the ground in the actual game world, and you'll be able to go back to them depending on what kind of item it is, assuming it doesn't decay. I'm still in the working process for a lot of the elements of the game, but here we have an example of the tooltips, which basically just give you basic information about whatever's on screen. In this case, we have the bones highlighted, and it will tell you a general use case for bones, and it will give you the value of the individual item. In this case, it's just a placeholder value, and whether or not the item will decay. Some items in Quinlan do decay. Quinlan does have survival elements. It's actually a big part of the game. And in this case, 3 days in the game pass, which is roughly by default it's going to be 24 minutes for 1 day. So in 72 minutes the game will take away 1 bone item from your inventory, so you'll have 99 going to 98. And this also will obviously indicate whether or not it's edible, but you can also, like you see here, see that you can discard it, consume it, and then you can pretty much kind of go through that process. You could actually select how many you want to consume or discard. In this case, I discarded 99 of the bones, no longer have any, and this pickaxe right here is just an example to show that the item was created. The idea is when you unpause, this item will actually be in the game world, and you would basically have it there for you to access. And obviously you have empty slots, you have various other items. You can see this error. This is just a kind of placeholder for anytime I make a typo. It doesn't matter if I make a typo, I could just have the game continue to run without worrying about errors, crashing it for things like this. And I can just go back into the code and just actually edit whatever it was. Not really sure off the top of my head what this is, but it says error, drop selection item, typo error, review code. That's just a default message for myself. Alright, another element, at some point you can see you got inventory items, number of pages. At some point I will implement a way to sort the items so that if you're looking for something, you can actually sort them in a certain way. And as you can tell, there's going to be more than one page, because item 1 of 1. This whole page right here holds 63 or 62 items. And obviously if there's more different items, you'll get more pages based on how many items you have overall. And if you have an item already but you run out of that item, it'll still display. It'll just be that item icon and the amount you have remaining, which would be 0 in this case, just to show that, okay, you've encountered this item, it's not new to you. Next we have material. Well, actually, yeah. So the sorting, you'll be able to sort by the amount. So let's say there were 99 bones left. The bones would actually show first, and then anything would kind of just indicate whether or not it has items based on the number. The ABC, obviously alphabetical order. Material order would be animal products versus plant products versus kind of artificial human products. As you can see, like cloth, clothing, bones, and meat, and herbs and spices, that type of thing. Decays, and in this case, like I showed you, that some items will decay over time, so it's going to primarily be food items that do that. I don't really see why anything else would need to decay, but it's just added challenge to the game. But it's not going to be so overbearing where it's like I can't maintain my resources. So right now this is just kind of just a placeholder just to display what's going to happen. Down here we're going to have some basically control tips here. Like you'll just have kind of control prompts. It'll tell you like this button does this and whatever, and then you kind of go from there. Edible, obviously items that you could eat would go here first, and then anything behind it would be non-edible. And an added detail would be that the items that you can't eat, any items in any of the sorting will be in alphabetical order as kind of like a secondary. So everything will be in alphabetical order, and then whatever the sorting consideration is. And in the case of inventory items, you won't be able to sort them manually, but for the tools you will be able at some point to sort the tools, and the tools that have a similar kind of display setup. This is just kind of an example video just to show you guys how this looks so far. Let me see if I restart this real quick. So you can see, also at some point I will add in mouse support. This is why this mouse finger is here. You'll be able to click on the icons and kind of interact with them that way, including the actual menus. So you'll be able to click this, click that. And a lot of things in Quinlan are going to be mouse or touch screen if you have a laptop or touch device, keyboard and gamepad. You'll be able to combine all these controls together to customize how you play the game. And I also figure that would also help with making the game more accessible with different accessories, because you won't have to be like, oh, either gamepad or keyboard. Everything will work together, and you'll at some point provide a way for the player to configure the controls how they want to, or use various defaults in the game. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any suggestions, anything you want to mention or questions, just leave a comment, like, subscribe to the video, to the channel, and I look forward to developing Quinlan and continuing on to it. It's a passion project of mine, and I've been developing it off and on for years. Realistically, if I was more consistent, I think I would have been done by now, but there are times in my life I was just too busy for my own self to be able to focus on this, because I was more focused on other things. And right now I've just been taking less time at my regular 9 to 5 just so I can work on this more, and also kind of just balance my life out more for this particular season of my life. And depending on how life goes, obviously if I need to, I'll work more. If I don't need to, I'll try to relax and focus on Quinlan and other things in my life. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye now.